Hello and welcome back to the RattleMind podcast. I'm Rye, and my co-host, join me as always, is
Miss Panchy.
awesome. All right. So today we're going to talk about the paranormal. Yes, I had to be a little bit spooky. All right. So let's start by talking about haunted houses. How's that? That a good place to
Sure.
start? All right.
I mean, that's where, you know, the most experiences happen, you would think, so.
Right. I pulled up this article about the 10 real haunted houses across the United States. Ooh. Let's see what house places they got. The Whaley House Museum. Yeah, a lot of them are now museums for some reason.
Yeah, yeah.
House of Death, New York City, New York.
Huh.
That sounds like that should be like a you're a paranormal investigating person who goes across the states. This is where you're going for your next investigation. The House of Death.
Yeah.
Let's see what else. The Winchester Manor. Oh
Yes.
man.
Oh my gosh, I would love to talk about that one because
I
Sam and Colby went to that one, and I'm a huge Sam and Colby fan.
I would like to go there just to see it. Not
I do
really.
want to see it. I don't necessarily have to look for a
Yeah.
paranormal experience to like experience this freaking house. Oh my God.
This house is so weird that the lady just started adding rooms and doors to nowhere because she was so paranoid about what was it, the ghost of of the people that the Winchester family led to their deaths. Because this is
They made a gun.
Winchester, yeah, this Winchester gun company, yeah.
So, um, there are a few different really like convincing stories behind it. And when Sam and Colby went, one of the guides basically explained that a possible story is that she actually lost her family tragically. It was like her husband and her
Right.
child, I believe. And she was told by a medium or a psychic that like to keep adding to the house so that these spirits have somewhere to go, a safe place to be or something like that. And like it would, I'm not sure if it would like help atone for, like you said, the lives that were lost from the guns that they sold.
Yeah,
Um,
I think
but
people
like
made up
it
a lot
was
of things.
right, but like some people think that she wasn't just mentally unstable, she just missed her family so much and like did everything in her power to help them in the afterlife and
Right.
truly believed that doing this to this house and just kept adding and adding and adding no matter if it made sense or not was like creating a haven for these spirits.
Yeah, like I said, this is one of the places that I would like to visit just to be able to see the house.
Right.
Haunted or not, it's
Right.
got such a cool story behind it and weirdness that.
Absolutely.
Let's see, what's another one they got? The Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast.
Classic. Sam and Colby went there. I'm gonna reference them a lot. Just deal with it. Okay. They're the most relevant ghost hunters I watch now. Back in the day, of course, it was ghost hunters, but these days for me, it's all Sam and Colby. I would love to explore with them someday.
I typed in rhyme. There we go, rhyme. Lizzie Borden has her own rhyme.
Oh yeah, the axe, right? It was about the
Lizzie
axe.
Borden took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks. And when
Mm,
she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41.
yep. It was a very gruesome tale. And in
Yeah,
the tour that they went on, you could see they left like a lot of like markings in the house from the axe swings and stuff like that. So it was very very fascinating.
Yeah. Let's see
To
what's.
put it gently.
Oh yeah.
It's very dark, but it's interesting. It's so interesting. Oh my gosh, I just smacked my mic. I am so sorry if that made a lot of noise.
Let's see what else is there.
Bellwitch Cave.
Oh,
Oh,
the Bellwitch Caves.
oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I skipped down because
Yep.
I was looking at pictures. Um, the one above it was looks like another axe murder.
Yep. Axe
Yeah,
murder.
Valicia.
Yeah. Without a picture, I'm not all that interested. I'm sorry. Pictures make me interested. So, Bellwitch Cave, Adams, Tennessee. John Bell Farm
Think
along the
they
Red
went
River.
there? I can't remember. They went in a cave. I just don't know if that's the cave they went to.
Yeah. Another haunted place. The White House!
Oh, yeah, that's. I keep forgetting about that. I have heard this before, but that is not something I think about very often, you know?
Right. Not many people would think of it either.
Right.
Uh, see, what was it? Who cares? Actually, I've
Who
actually.
cares?
Yep, yep. Who
Do
cares?
you
No,
know a
it's.
single specific ghost story from the White House?
No, I don't.
Ah, me either.
Like I said, who cares? I don't have a specific story. I can't relate to it. This one here, I can relate to.
That's very Sam and Colby. And like, I'm surprised they don't have a picture. That house
Yeah,
was very spooky. Oh my gosh.
I actually live close enough that I could actually go to Atchison, Kansas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think my sister in law has actually gone to the house as well. Uh, I heard you make a noise and then nothing. Did I
No, I
lose
just
you?
said
Oh,
ooh.
okay.
Like, I'm kind of jelly. Like, I wanna go to these haunted hotels and stuff, and like I would really love to go to a place where they let you spend the night. You
Yeah,
know, that's I don't want to go as like an official like investigator. Like, even though that's what I want
right.
to do. Like, I just want to spend the night somewhere and like see if something happens, and if not, hey, it's a nice stay at a nice hotel. You
Exactly.
know.
Franklin Castle, Cleveland, Ohio.
Hmm. Interesting. Cleveland's a bit of a trek. I am in Ohio. I am just in the southwest corner
Yeah,
of it in Cincinnati. But castle, very cool. Ohio has a lot of history. It really does.
yeah,
It
it
was
does.
probably a fort, like some kind of defensive fort at one point, if I had to guess.
No, it says it's a Victorian house.
Never mind.
Yeah. Why they call it a castle, who knows? Probably because it's bigger than what you'd expect. But of course,
Yeah.
yet again, no picture. How am I supposed to relate?
Find a better article. I don't know.
There we go. Look at that. Now, that is a place I'd like
Ooh.
to just see. I mean, I
Yeah.
want to figure out what's going on here. Is that like exterior stairs? Or what is going on with the
I
extra
feel like that's
architecture
part of
here?
the exterior design, but it does look like there should be winding stairs on the
Yeah.
inside at least.
Of course, we're probably going to get pinged by Getty Images soon. Uh, all right, that looks like that's all we had for that. But yeah, I'd like to visit some of these, not during the night because I'd get too spooked. Uh, I'm
I'm braver with someone, but
Yeah,
sometimes
that's
I'm
another
brave enough
thing.
to like really like try, like this house has never where I live has never really felt really haunted, but sometimes I'll ask, like
Yeah,
is anything going on out there, Because like it, if you're open-minded and if you're skeptical, that's fine. I got no problem with that. I choose to believe in the possibility of this stuff and have some experiences of my own, and um but sometimes like you hear something or something really weird happens and
right.
it makes you wonder. So, uh interestingly enough, I was able to download an EMF detector app on my
Oh yeah,
phone.
there's a handful of those. Not just EMF. Um, Here, let's go to the ghost hunting
I
equipment.
I had to go through a couple tries with apps though, because like you'll find the hokey ones that are like you'll just like put it down on the table and it'll be like it'll start going off. It's meant to prank your friends and stuff like
Right.
that, you know. Same with Spirit Box. I have yet to find a legit Spirit Box app because you would think a phone could do that, you know? A phone could cycle through radio stations. But I haven't found like a legitimate one yet.
There are a handful of them that I've actually watching spooky YouTubers that I have actually found plausible that they could be working. But
From the app? They use apps? The
yeah,
YouTubers?
they use a Spirit Box app. I just cannot remember what they're called because there's none of the ones that I'm looking here. Because none of
If you
them's.
figure it out, let me know. I wouldn't mind spending a few dollars on it too, you know, like, because you can like go shopping for equipment and it'll be hundreds of dollars easily
Oh yeah,
brand
well,
new.
like I had or what happened? I closed the tab. I had a thing open a few minutes ago that showed it. There it is. Here, this a REM pod,
Yeah,
$189. Holy cow!
yeah, yeah. But those lights are motion sensors
Right.
and will be able to like identify like where something's moving, you know, like depending on which light goes off. And it has a temperature reader as well. Um, I forget how it indicates what the temperature is. Like, is if it gets to a certain degree of heat or cold, it'll like indicate, you know, one or the other.
$359 for a talking bear.
Okay, I have seen that as well on the show, on the Sam and Colby thing, and that would scare the living daylight out of me if I forgot that that was there.
Yes.
And I get it that like you want to appeal to like child spirits and get a reaction from them with this thing, and that would make a lot of sense. But oh my God, if I forgot that it was there and it goes off, I would, mm, I'd, I'd piss my pants. I'm just gonna say, phasmophobia makes me piss my pants as
Look
a
at all these
little real
weird
life
stuff.
crap like that. Oh my gosh, in Sam and Colby, they use a lot of really sick gear. I don't know how they decide what to use and when, or maybe they only show it if they get something on it, which makes sense. But they use things as simple as cat balls, which are just
Right.
little plastic balls that have lights in them that the lights go off when it gets played with. But these cat balls will light up when they're sitting there, you know, and they use this is the most mind-blowing thing they use, right? They use just these twisty flashlights, just these
Oh
little
yeah.
metal twisty flashlights. That's it. That is it. And they have gotten weird. And bear in mind to any skeptic that's listening, I am aware that, you know, there's a bajillion tricks out there you can do to fool people and, you know, believing it's real or whatever. I choose to believe that they conduct their investigations like genuinely. I choose to believe that it's real. And if I find out that it's not later on, oh well. But let me have this, okay? Leave me alone.
Oh
So, choosing to believe that these flashlights are going off and on and off again on their own, it is mind blowing to me that something that simple can be used like that. Like, what? What? A flashlight. Okay.
the one thing I will never, ever do, no
I
matter
knew when you
what,
stopped scrolling.
is the Ouija board. I am not touching a freaking Ouija board.
I would. I would totally do it. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I have before. I haven't experienced anything like super insane like you hear about at as of now. But like there are careful, smart ways to do it. It's just it got marketed as a freaking game being made by a board game making
Yep.
company that I can't remember the name of right now. And it was glow in the dark, for Christ's sake. It was marketed as a game. No wonder people weren't being careful with these things. But I would totally, under, strict guidance and spiritual strength, I would be willing to use one. Um,
Aura glasses.
or a, oh, interesting. I want to see that being used on Sam and Colby for. No, Sam and Colby have been using this screen that has it detects unseen humanoid figures somehow and seen because they've caught each other on it before, you know? I
Yeah, I
think it's
know what
heat
you're.
signatures, I want
Yeah,
to say.
there's a couple of them out there. One's the a heat signature type of one. Then there's another one that uses what the Xbox Connect used to do, which would try and
Oh,
scan for any human-like bodies,
shapes.
shapes, and
Yeah.
that's where you get those wireframe, weird, janky things that you can see where there should be joints for arms and legs,
Right,
twitching and all
right.
that.
Yeah, I love that thing. I love it so much. And along the lines of the spirit box, so they do what's called the Estes method, and they um, will hook up a headset to the spirit box, blindfold themselves, put the headset on, and turn the volume up so
Yeah.
that they can't hear anything except for what's being put
Right,
through the spirit box. Now, again, I'm choosing to believe this is legit, so roll with me here. They have had some of the craziest conversations with people, like um, whoever's not, they say it under. Like they call it going
right,
under, because you kind of have to go into like this trance, right? To like really listen, to really receive the message, to and then to like relay it. Um, and when you're under and you have that sensory deprivation, you don't know what's going on around you, and then you have a full-blown conversation with people asking you questions. It is just, oh, it's mind-blowing, and it makes so much sense too, like why
right.
that would work, you know?
Oh,
That's what I want to try someday.
yeah, I would be too freaked out. I mean, I'll admit, I probably wouldn't be freaked out per se. I just wouldn't like being alone and blindfolded.
Right. I wouldn't do it alone, especially if you're prone to being scared by these kinds of things, because the the things that crawl in the night feed off of that fear.
Right,
So, um, and we're all prone to it. We're all human. In fact, that's their favorite thing about us is we are living human beings. Um, so it's just like, don't go by yourself. You know, just take me. I'll go. Let's do it. I'll go to Kansas. Let's do it. I'm sure Kansas has a funky history,
yeah, especially if you go up
especially with
to,
the
uh,
Native American history.
oh, not just that. If you go up to, oh crap, my brain has frozen on the original capital of Kansas because it's not Topeka. Lawrence. Lawrence was the original capital of Topeka. Um, it was,
Kansas?
yeah,
Okay.
Kansas brain. This is why we get by episode for Friday. It's like super late and we're recording, and it's just
We're
brain
not making
stops working.
sense. Yeah, just go with it. It's okay.
But the entire city was burnt down by during the Civil War era type of things
Okay.
because Kansas and what was it? Kansas and Missouri, one of them was supposed to be a slave state and neither one really wanted to be or something like that, or was it Nebraska?
Yeah. I don't
So
know.
I don't remember either. So they burnt down the capital, which was Lawrence, and there's a lot of paranormal stuff that you can find up there.
Hmm, interesting. You know, Ohio's capital is Columbus, but it used to be this weird little town called Chillicothe. I it's such a weird, I don't know, but that's just what that reminded me of. But
Yeah,
Ohio is like has historically been known as one of the hottest states in the
right,
country, and some places are up there competing with the world, depending on what you're talking about. When I went to college, straight out of high school, my first college attempt, I um let's see where Nelsonville was the town it was in. It was a little school called Hawking, and right south of Hawking is a giant forest. It's huge. And in the middle of this forest is a place called Moonville Tunnel. And me and my friends would go there all the time because it just had like such a rich history. It's a tunnel that is it's huge. I can't a train used to go through it, if that helps you picture it. But
yeah.
like it was so like it's not a tight fit. It's not like Indiana Jones where like he has to like flatten himself on the roof to like when they're going under a tunnel. No, it's roomy. It's spacious in there, right? The train tracks have long since been ripped out
Right.
because um the town of Moonville is a ghost town now. We never did find that town, but or if there's anything left of it, the forest has taken over. But this tunnel, um so the story was that a train had stopped in this tunnel because it was snowing like nuts, right? And they couldn't get very far. So the train stopped in this tunnel. And on top of the tunnel is quite a bit of a hill. And snow was packing down on top of this hill, on top of the tunnel. It inevitably just collapsed under the train. The story that I had heard was that there were no survivors. I had also heard, um, I guess that one of the train stations along the tracks, there was a guy that was murdered by someone pushing him onto the tracks in front of a train. Um, and there's a legend of him walking down the tracks with a lantern because I guess he was like a not maybe a conductor, like some kind of employee worker type of guy. Um, and then another story on top of that is that there was an Indian burial ground nearby.
There's
There's
always an
always
Indian
a
burial
bit, yeah,
ground.
always an Indian. You found Moonville Tunnel. It's so tragic because like it gets riddled with graffiti
Yeah.
constantly. Um, but me and my friends always went there and like had a truly deep spiritual connection with this tunnel. It's really an incredible sight.
Ooh.
And the woods are beautiful. Like you just go on a hike to it. You don't even have to go for any special reason. It's just a beautiful place. Oh, that takes me back. I'd love to go back to that tunnel.
Yeah. See, I was never a real big going places and exploring type of person.
I
I
only was because of my
yeah.
friends. If someone called me tomorrow and they were like, "Let's go explore this abandoned house," and I've been like, "Okay, let me grab my coat." But like it's not something I'd instigate. But I do love it. I do love it a lot. And I love watching um quality investigations, paranormal investigations.
Yeah.
Ghost Hunters is where I got my start with that. And everyone always like talked about um they did it right. They mastered it because they set out to try to disprove the stories. So
Right.
like oh the door slammed shut or something. It's like if they could they tried to recreate it basically. And it made it so I guess more believable.
Yeah.
Um and it was really interesting because they were like totally chill with, you know, whenever they could disprove it, they weren't like disheartened or anything. They were just like, this stool fell off the table and it landed upside down, and then they would push it off themselves, and that's just kind of how the stool was, like, how it did it.
Right.
Like the legs hit the ground first and then it like flipped up. But they were like, so yeah, that's why it landed upside down, but like what pushed it off the table in the first place? So it's like they weren't totally like trying out to destroy the concept, obviously. um and not only that, but a couple of them, Jason and Grant, I believe, were both from my hometown of Dayton, Ohio, which is really cool um to think about.
Yeah, Ghost Hunters was good, but then they got into a lot of controversy about potentially being faked because there were,
So, yeah, I heard that
which is so
too.
annoying, but it's what you have to, grain of salt. It's gonna happen whenever
They
it's a TV
got
show.
desperate to keep, yeah, exactly. They got desperate to keep the show alive. Because you're not gonna get results every time you go somewhere.
Yeah,
And going to that place takes a lot of time, money, and effort. And I think they got a little desperate for um what we would call views
yeah.
these days. Views wasn't exactly a popular term back then, but um
It,
yeah, you're right. There was some controversy.
it's just like the other famous ghost TV show that was on the Travel Channel.
Uh,
They would blow out, would exaggerate everything, and that's why I
they
never watched
annoyed
them.
the crap out of me. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it wasn't Paranormal Files. It was,
Paranormal Investigators?
yeah, maybe that's it. But yeah, they'd be filming something, and then all of a sudden, one of them would, "Did you hear that?" Ah! And then one of them would start running down away from whatever noise, and
They legit would take off. They would just go. Like
right,
See, what I love about Sam and Colby is they have that like young investigator energy. Like they have that energy of their generation, but at the same time they like actually investigate and they try to be respectful, and they're learning something new with every step of the way of their journey. And they
yeah,
are not too obnoxious to like really like kind of get into the vibe.
yeah.
I really appreciate what they do, and they're just YouTubers, you know.
I
Uh,
I've found that there's a lot of YouTubers that will come off as fake, and then there's quite a few that are like, yeah, this could be real.
right, exactly. And
There's like there's some twin YouTubers, and part of the time I'm like, yeah, that's probably fake, and then there's times when it's like, holy crap, that probably was real.
right, when it seems so genuine. Plus, Sam and Colby have worked with Selena Spooky Boo, who is very genuine in her personality and like her spiritual experiences and her artwork, and like I don't think she's able to contain her personality in a way that would like she can't control her personality, so like therefore like
Yeah,
she's not gonna put in any effort to like hide something or be sneaky or like I don't think she's capable. And her and uh Chris, call me Chris, have gone with Sam and Colby multiple times on these adventures, and watching the four of them together is just a treat. It is an absolute delight because they're so fun to watch, and it's so fascinating what they find and experience. The only thing I wish they did, that ghost hunters did, was leave cameras, you know,
right.
in like zones that are reported with domestic activity and blah blah blah. Um, be I just don't think they have the time or will or energy to go through all that footage like ghost hunters.
Yeah, because a lot of that was funded by sci-fi, so
Right, right. But ghost hunters got some pretty cool footage though doing that stuff. So I don't know. I wish they did. Maybe there's tech out there now that like you know how there's like motion cameras that start recording when
Well,
something moves, like with those devices that pick up human forms and stuff like that. You
yeah.
could have something like that so that you're not sitting through literally 8 hours of footage, like scouring the screen for something and trying not to go crazy. But other than that, I'm hooked, and I hope Kobe gets well soon because apparently the poor guy had testicular cancer.
Ouch.
Yeah, yeah, 26 gets testicular cancer. He had surgery to remove one of his balls.
Yeah.
And he called himself the one, what was it? The one ball wonder or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, the fact that he can be in good spirits and go through all that is he's so cool. They both are. They're amazing. So
Uh,
hopefully he recovers and they get back to it and see what other shenanigans they get into.
yep. And with that odd note about testicles, we will end our episode.
Oh my gosh. I wanted to talk about like the more you talk about paranormal stuff, the more you start realizing for every even kind of half-ass answer you can give to something you're thinking about, you unlock 50 other questions,
Yep.
you know. There's so much to think about in regards to this, but part two.
Yep, there will
We'll do this.
definitely be a part two. Maybe closer to October, we'll just do a whole month of just spooky stuff. I think
I
that's
like
a
that
good plan.
idea.
We'll even do spooky games for our Wednesday reviews and stuff. So
Yes.
look forward to October. And like I said, and we're going to sign off. So remember to follow us on YouTube or Rumble, whichever viewing platform you prefer. And is there anything you'd like to say before we go?
I would love, love, love to hear your spooky paranormal stories. I love hearing these things. And I would love to see what our viewers have experienced. So please share in the comments. I just think that would be so cool. Please and thank you.
All right. So until our next episode, bye.
Bye.